Thank you. LG&E last night sent out a notice asking us all to conserve our energy today to take the strain off the power grid. So we asked the chief of LG&E's corporate communications, Chris Whalen, to join us here to explain that. And thank you, Chris. Is the power grid okay? Do we have anything to worry about?
We're doing great, actually. So we did, out of an abundance of caution last night, issue a press release that said, would you conserve energy, help protect the grid? Long term, it'll help you on your energy bill. It's amazing what just a few degrees adjusting your thermostat will do to help it out with all of that. So we were perfectly clear. We had no issues last night. We had plenty of generation. No issues with our transmission system, no issues with the gas system. We had a few scattered outages this morning, but it's cold, right?
Yeah.
Things don't always operate as they normally do. So really, we appreciate our customers responding, and like I said, we made it through. We issued an all clear basically at noon. And now, it's cold. We still encourage customers to save energy, and it'll help them next month on their bill.
So we're talking about extreme cold, extreme heat. Those are the situations.
That's exactly it. And we weren't in a situation where we were completely worried about it. It was just out of an abundance of caution.
Did we hit a peak at one point? Tell us about that. What is a peak, and where does it compare to other normal days?
Yeah, it was crazy. We actually hit almost exactly the same peak that we hit in 2014 when the polar vortex was here. So there was a lot of HVAC systems working overtime last night and a lot of energy being used. So like I said, this was more than even a couple of years ago, and we made it through without any issues. So.
If you worry about, obviously we think power grid, we think brownouts. Is that what you were possibly worried about could happen?
You never know, right? Something could happen, something could fail on our system, or something could fail on somebody else's system. So asking customers to help us all pitch in then helps protect the grid itself. We weren't as worried because we've done a lot of investments in our system over the last few years. We've, from a generation standpoint, we've got new technology that allows us to work the gas generation at lower pressures. We've also got stronger poles now. We've got stronger wires. We have weather protection on our gas system that allows us to work when it's colder. So we've done a lot of investments in our system in the last number of years.
And you guys are also encouraging people to use smart thermostats, right?
Yeah.
And that'll help in this overall conserving of energy.
We have a program, BYOB, bring your own, BYOD, bring your own device.
Yeah, be careful on that one.
Bring your own device. And so it's basically, if you have a smart thermostat on your own, you can register it with us. We'll pay you to register it, and then when we need it, we'll call upon it and lower your temperature just a few degrees.
Well, we want to put on the screen some of the helpful ideas that you all put out last night. Why don't you run through those, Chris, and talk about how each one of them does matter, especially when we're in a situation where you're worried about the power grid.
The biggest one, as you see there, is lower your thermostat. We say even if you just lower it 1 degree, you can save up to 3% on your energy bill. So that's a significant. You notice I'm in a bundled up sweater today, and it's because my house is colder. And then, run your dishwasher and so forth only when it's full. Same thing with laundry. I tell people too, when it turns cold immediately and you haven't weatherized, you can even do like a draft, roll up a towel in front of a leaky door. You don't have to weatherize. Do that when you can. Do that on the peak of the shoulder seasons. But you can do things along the way to help. Closing your curtains at night helps keep the cold out. Opening them and bringing the sunshine in is great. Layer up extra blankets. Make sure that damper on your fireplace isn't leaking. All of those tips are really, and the other one's funny, use your microwave in the crock pot. It's much easier to cook, and it saves a lot of energy.
I never thought of this
make a
one.
difference.
Yeah, that same thing in the hot or the cold. It'll help it. So, and we talk about using the grill in the summer, but we'll talk about that later in the year.
I was interested in, you were talking about the infrastructure investment, because you brought this up when we had the icing just a little while ago. What does that involve? Is it about power lines, transmission lines? What have you been doing through the community and that will impact different neighborhoods during events like this?
Yeah, really and truly all across our system. We've replaced a number of transmission poles, which are our superhighways. We've also replaced a great deal of our distribution poles, which are in your neighborhood. We also now have a more automated system. So we can actually, in some instances, know that your power is out before you report it, which is brand spanking new for us, right? And then once we've identified where your outage is, we can often reroute the power away from that outage and isolate it where less people are impacted. So The automation and technology has really been a great thing for us.
All right, Chris, thank you so much for coming in. We appreciate it. So we're doing real right now with the power grid, but
And
again,
your temperatures are improving, so that's helpful.
that's right. Bring out the crock pots.
Yeah.
Thanks
you.
again.
Thanks for
All right.
having me.
Thanks so much, Chris. We appreciate it.